see.
Hello, we are back at the top of the third Fearless Action Hour, and Becca's still here with me. Whoop, whoop. So I'm going to read the quote for today out of Peaceful Living by Mary McKenzie. And today it says, happiness is not a state to arrive at, but a manner of traveling. And that is by Samuel Johnson. So what do you think about that, Beck? Happiness is not a state to arrive at, but a manner of traveling.
Well, I love that because traveling to me is happiness. So that speaks to my soul. Yeah, I've definitely always kind of had this mindset of like vacation to me isn't about arriving at a destination. It literally is having the idea of I don't need a vacation from my life. I'm building a life that, I can implement the happiness that I receive in my day can equal like vacation. And so happiness is traveling for me. And I've never really thought of like the arrival being like the happy point. So that really hits me good.
Yeah, I love that. But yeah, I mean, we have certain destinations that we want to get to. And if we have the mode or the intention to be happy as we travel, right? Then when we get there, we're gonna be even more happy because we're there and we've been having the intention all along of being happy. So like I think of a road trip and with 8 people in a car, a road trip is interesting. And we went on this trip to Washington, the state, like, I don't know, 5, 6 years ago. It was before Griffin was born, maybe 5 years ago, because Liam was a baby. And, we stopped at places along the way. We stopped in Salem, Oregon. We stopped in, I don't know. Oh, Portland. We stopped in and slept over in Vancouver, Washington. And then we made it to Seattle, which was the location we were going. I mean, not Seattle. Anyways, I forget what it's called, but it's where Halloween Town is. If you've ever watched those Halloween Town movies on the Disney Channel, my kids were big into that. And we got there on Halloween. And so we went to Halloween Town, then we went to Seattle, we went to Everett. And it's funny because my sister didn't even live in Everett yet then. And we went trick-or-treating in my friend's neighborhood. We stayed with her overnight. And then me and my husband are big twihards. So we went to Port Angeles and we went to La Push and we went to Forks and then we drove home. And on the way home from Forks, my youngest daughter threw up like every 2 hours. And it was like, still, it is like the best trip we've ever gone on, even with all of that, because we had the intention of this is going to be an amazing trip. And I had the intention of I'm going to make this happen because there were all these things beforehand that were going to be like, no, we can't go, just stay home. And I was like, no, I'm going to make it happen. And it ended up being an amazing trip, even with all the other craziness that was going on. And so I think that that's, having that attitude in our life, is a positive way of living our lives too. All right, I'm gonna post. Okay, so we're at the bottom of the third Fearless Action Hour. And Beck didn't come back. She's a busy. So we will hold the space for her to do what she's doing. And I thought I would pull a card. So I've done this before. My cards are Gabby Bernstein, The Universe Has Your Back. So I'm going to choose one for you, for us. Aw, Beth gave me a heart, so she is there. Okay, I choose love no matter what. That's right, baby. It's the month of love, and we are going to choose love no matter what. Love that. And actually, a second card came up. So let's see. Thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. OP. Thank you for expanding my perceptions so that I can see what is of the highest good. There you go. There you go. All right, so we are going to choose love no matter what. And we are going to see beyond the limits of fear and have it be thankful for the expansion of our perception and how we see our greater good. So love that. Thank you, Gabby Bernstein. And then I'm going to pull a card from I Love My Life by Carol Tuttle. I only have a few of them here because I've got some up on my mirror and some, other places. So I only got a little bit of them right here, but I'm going to pick one. Let's see what we got. I am grateful that the universe is always conspiring to tell me, create a life I love. Oh my goodness. Are we just one point away with these messages? And the universe, or God, as I call it, you can call it what you call it. Just insert the word for you. I definitely think is always wanting our best, and that everything that happens, what we say happens to us, is for us. And that even if we, it doesn't feel good, and we see it as a challenge or a struggle, even, it is still for our good. And that's not always an easy place to come from or to be. I definitely know that. I am not saying at all that that is where I live all the time, but it is a place to at least know. I've been working on awareness all action hour because that is the step next month. And so it is a good place to start from. So Beck is back. Beck, how did your time go? Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, this was great. So I could hear you pulled some cards, and I heard expanding perception, and I heard choosing love to see beyond our greater good. And now I heard you talking about like the universe conspiring in our greater good. And that made me think of that the God winks and the breadcrumbs that Sister B talks about in OP all the time, that, before that awareness of, looking at something and seeing the synchronicity in, that might not have been there if I didn't choose what I was, moving towards in my life for my greater good, right? We become more aware of the surroundings and the things that are happening for us when we have made the decision about what it is we want. And so that's what was coming to me, like the expanding the perception for me too. Like that is the seeing beyond just like what's right in front of us and what we have heard is possible from other people. Because as human beings, like, we are nearly limitless. And I think that it's always a great reminder that the universe is conspiring in our favor to give us what we want. And staking our claim and owning it is that awareness that we know what we want, and now things can shift in our favor, because we're also more aware of it, that we can receive it. if it just walks right past you, but you didn't know that's what you wanted, I mean, you can't have it.
Yeah. 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 I've been writing all about awareness, and it really is that first key. If you don't have an awareness of what you're wanting, then how are you going to see that the universe is doing what it can to make it happen? You know, how can you see that things are falling into place? How can you see that this person is in your life right now because they're exactly what you need to make it happen? You know, we have to be aware. And I think that when we choose to be aware, we choose to see these things happening as for our good, as steps along our path that are going to get us to where we want to be, then we will start to see more of them, and we will start to be led. And I think that takes courage, and I think it takes trust, and it takes fearlessness for sure to be so observant and willing to follow those breadcrumbs and God winks, and know that what is brought to you is for your best. It's for your highest good. And that you know, everything is meant to happen how it happens. And you can either be aware of it happening for you, or you cannot. So, anything else, Beck? Now that I have two of you? All right, it is 5 o'clock. I'm going to stop this recording. Check you guys all out next time on the Fearless Action Hours.